So this is going to be a Paifu review from my perspective, and this was my first time playing against Super Phoenix. The bot you can see is my Timocha on the right, um, and yeah, we'll see how I do. I do have a couple of notes that I took down about. Um, there's a few of my cuts throughout this Hanshan, and one of Suphx's cuts, which I found a little interesting. So maybe at that time we can jump to looking at what Suphx had. But anyways, I'll just go ahead and I'll just go ahead and start playing the replay, and you guys can jump in if you guys see something bad.
You're not even going to introduce the people who will be judging you?
I will. You can self-introduce yourself, or I was thinking of just having you guys introduce yourself.
Okay, I can introduce Nima, and Nima can introduce.
Sure.
This is my friend over here, Nima. Plays at LAPOM, has his own YouTube channel. Pretty good at Mahjong. Won a couple titles before, I believe. Say more you'd like me to add?
I guess that's good. All right, and this is my friend Bryant. He also is pretty good at Mahjong. Also plays at LAPOM sometimes. Mostly mentors OC Mahjong, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm Aaron. I'm president of OC Mahjong, and as you can see, I'm decent at Mahjong, as I just made it to Tokujou.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, this is your entry-level Tokujou game. Let's put it that way. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Boom.
Why did you cut 9-pin?
Why did I cut 9-pin? Good question, because 9-so is dealer's Suji. So that's why I didn't cut 9-so. Is that a good answer?
You don't know?
I thought that's the right thing to do.
I mean, as long as you know that you're not going to make a block from it, because you already have enough blocks, and 9P is not a strong floating tile. You have the Formon for that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, you just have to explain. I'm not. So, like, I'm going to ask questions, even on discards that I think are fine, because I just want you to explain them.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure for the audience as well. So yeah, that's good. I appreciate that. Go ahead and continue. Okay, here I cut 9-so because I keep the 4-pin, and the reason, or 4-mon, sorry. I keep the 4-mon even though I have enough blocks, because if I can improve that to a Liangmen, then I'll get rid of 1-3. That's why I cut. That's why I keep the 4-mon. And so here I cut the 4-mon because I improved that to a Liangkan shape.
So when are you thinking about getting rid of the Dora here? Or will you get rid of the Dora here?
I think if I complete my Liangkan, I would probably get rid of the Dora, since that would be perfect Ishanten.
Did you notice
Did I notice Toyman's discards?
the 6-0 Tadashi?
I don't remember if I recall. I don't remember if I noticed, because this was a while ago. So that's a good point, though. That's a double Tadashi 6-0. So I mean, from looking at it from this perspective now, right? It might be some sort of Inzu Honitsu possible, or they're just really fast.
And there's no way it's Pinzu Honitsu.
Because they threw the. There's no way it's Pinzu Honitsu?
They threw the tone before the second 6-0.
Ah. Okay. Yeah.
It's just that it's unusual that they would have another 6-0 if they threw a 6-0 earlier, right?
What if they drew it like when they drew the second, or like? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. So I mean, it could just be fast. But
Yeah,
here,
I mean, that's
the most logical option. Is that right?
yeah. Their hand is fast. Like they could be Tenpai already.
True. So with this, I sort of noticed the pay cut from Kamicha. So I was, looking back at this now, maybe I should have used that opportunity to just cut it. Um,
I mean, that would be the safest play, right?
Right.
But if you do that, your hand it might not have any value. So it's not horrible to keep the Dora.
mhm. Nothing much to say there.
What do you think, Brian, about keeping the Dora versus discarding it with by following Kamicha's discard?
I want to say if you remove this winning screen for a second. By the time the second 6-0 come out, right? I think you can be thinking about your 6-7 so as like a safe block if you still chooses to advance this hand, and the only way you will choose to continue to advance this hand is if you draw more Doras.
Okay.
And then you could kind of fix your Jonto shape with the 2-2-2, 3-4 and the pay. That's what I was thinking if you want to continue. But as Nima said, the second 6-0 is really sus and probably a really fast hand if you don't have any value in this hand. And you're still like still Liang Xiangten, right?
Right.
So I think the Tokujou advice to give here is to just be really careful, and maybe the 5-man cut was even too much.
Oh, okay. So just start folding with the 6-7.
It's an option when your
Okay.
hand is really just nothing.
Okay.
But it's like also really hard to tell, right? Because you'd have to be watching literally every single Tsumugivi and Tadashi to make that sort of read.
Yeah, in the perfect play, I feel like that's what you end up thinking. So.
Yeah. But like like I'm not telling you to like you have to memorize every single one. I'm just saying when I mentioned the second 6, so I was like you should be at least suspicious of Toymen when they discard another 6-0 Tadashi.
Right.
Like several turns after the first one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Oh, what is this 1 pin discard?
What is it, huh? That's a good question. I think. Actually, no, that wouldn't make sense. I think what I was thinking, I guess is the best way to say that, is there's a slight chance of Sanshoku. So I want to keep the 5-7. But in that case, I should have just threw the 1. The 1-mon.
Yeah, exactly. Because throwing 1 pin is keeping 6 blocks, but you're keeping like 6. Well, you have 1 completed Mensu, but then all the other 5 blocks are really bad.
Uh-huh.
So it's better to keep 2 stronger blocks like the Diankan and the 1-2-2 pin, as opposed to like 2 Kanchans and 2 pairs.
Right. That would increase the. It would be more efficient, right?
It would help when you get to Ishanten a lot more.
Okay.
Because like you by keeping 6 blocks, you like you're technically. I mean, even with this bad hand shape, it's not really helping that much with the current tile acceptance. But then by keeping 6 blocks here, when you advance your hand, the following shape will be much weaker.
Okay.
Eat.
I cut the Suji.
It seems fine. So how do you how do you choose between the 7 mon and the 7 so, for instance? Because they're both Suji.
Yeah, they're both Suji, but the 7 so would sort of break up Amensu, right? And if I cut 7 mon here, right, now that I still have, if I do that, right, I still have a Kanchan, or Liangkan, sorry. So 3, 5, 7, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's still 5 blocks. Whereas if I throw 7 so, that would be going back to Shanten. So if I happen to get into Tenpai, or like, you know, if safer tiles come up, then I can still sort of Moashu my way around it.
I mean, that's not a bad answer, but you still have like too many blocks. You'll have to cut an entire block to get closer to Tenpai, you know?
Right.
The answer I was looking for was that you have 2 of the 7 mon, so that it would last you 2 turns, and also that the 7 mon was Suji after the disc, or after the Richi, as opposed to before the Richi. Because
okay.
yeah, so like the main thing is that you have 2 of them, so it'll last 2 turns. In a situation where you have no Gambutsu, that's important. But also considering the fact that the 4-so was discarded before the Richi, it's possible, not necessarily that they set that Suji trap intentionally, but that they were like, oh, well, I ended up on a 7, so wait, and it's Suji, so I mean, it's fine, and then they just Richi.
Right.
But with the Formon, they had no input on that tile. They didn't consciously discard it to wait on a 7 mon, like, Suji trap,
Right.
you know?
Does that, at least in the early stages of the game, do you think that would have that much of an impact? I mean, it is an impact for sure, but do you?
It has more of an impact early on than later on.
Oh, really?
Later,
Okay.
yeah, well, because later on you have more safe tiles to work with, or rather, if you have more tiles discarded, your opponents will have more safe tiles to work with, so they won't easily pick Suji if they're folding.
Okay.
But early game, there's only like 5 tiles to discard when they reach in, and 2 of them were honor tiles and 1 of them was a terminal. So like it's entirely possible you had none of those tiles, and you might just be like, well, I guess I'll throw my Suji 7 so and then deal in.
Okay. So that's pretty basic, pretty straightforward there.
You're keeping around a lot of honor tiles.
Yeah, I mean, with the hand the state, it was. Let me just scroll back. I was like, well, I have 2, you know, Liangmens and 1 Kanchan. Do I really want those, like, I mean, I guess I could pair them up, but do I really want Penchans or Shampos, right? It's like, not really. It's probably going to be pretty bad. But in terms of pairing them up, I could always use, you know, pair up the other honor tiles. And then I would have plenty of safe tiles, given the fact that I'm pretty behind on blocks, number of blocks.
I think there's 2 directions of thoughts here. One is that since you're so starved for blocks, any improvement for speed, you take the ones over the honor tiles. But the other thing is you might also look like you're so starved for blocks, so you need to really think about defense.
Right.
So then you kind of end up keeping a bunch of those honor tiles. But it's not necessarily the case that those honor tiles are safe.
True.
Yeah, I agree. Especially since you have an Akka in your hand. Like even from the very beginning, you had 1 Akka.
Right.
So it's, according to Richi Book 1, it's totally fine to just Richi any hand that has an Adora in it. So keeping the terminals to just have wider tile acceptance, because like even if the shape is bad, you'd still Richi it, right? and
Right.
that's more of an argument for keeping the terminals. Not that I disagree with discarding them. It's just that's the normal like digital play to just keep all the terminals over the honors.
Right.
Why did you discard West out of your honor tiles?
That's a good question. Go back. Why did I discard West out of all the honor tiles? So I kept North because it was safe. There's 3 out. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
East and Shun are both live honor tiles that could be called by anyone, and I felt that if I threw West, obviously probably no one's gonna call, and so it wouldn't speed up anyone else's hand. And given the fact that I'm still on 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, yeah, I don't want to give anyone else speed, and so that's why I did that.
But since you're on 4 blocks, you should probably keep the honor tiles that are more beneficial to you, don't you think?
I mean, I could still accept East and Shun. That's fine.
Yeah, but if you don't think anyone's gonna need the West anyway, then you could just discard the North and then keep all 3 Yakuhai for your own purposes.
Okay. You think that's probably that because the chance that someone might need the West is pretty low. I can't really say anything yet about Kamicha's hand, but I mean it might be some sort of Hangsu.
I mean, you have 2 Dora now, so I think you should prioritize your own win rate rather than just like being kind of scared of letting other people call or needing to hold the safe tile.
Okay.
Because remember, even live honor tiles are still B rank safe tiles.
Right.
Pom. Each. Sumo.
All right. No problems there.
How much did you expect us to like pick apart all these really small things? Like
I think the way you're doing it now is fine. Yeah. The level is fine.
Okay, yeah, because like this is all like really tiny stuff.
If there's any blatant mistakes, please let me know.
I would hope that you would have found them on your own and they're part of your.
Maybe they're part of my notes. We'll see. This is actually my first note is coming up, but let's see here.
What was that 5 mon? The Aka 5 mon, not your note?
Wait, turn 5? This is turn 5.
Yeah, it seems like the decision was made.
Yeah. Sorry. Right, I guess it was this one. Wait, is this the right one? Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is me, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm wondering, should I have cut the 4 mon, right? That early, or should I have cut this penchant at all? I guess the penchant was part of was the note that I made.
Did you consider 3-so?
Did I consider 3-so?
At the very first cut?
Very first cut? No, I didn't really consider that.
Because they're both floating tiles, right? Even though you typically keep the 3-so, there's no Aka 5-so. Since you can improve the shade greatly if you just draw 4-so.
Right.
the fact that there's Aka 5 mons, maybe you should consider getting rid of the 3 so here. Because even when you get rid of the 3 so you can still use the Aka 5.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point about having to adapt to having Akadora in the game.
This is hindsight 2020.
Yeah, I feel like the difference is really subtle because obviously, as you said, right, if I draw the 4 so that's really good for my shape. So that's part of the reason why I didn't really consider cutting 3 so right now.
I mean, I think if you were playing like with Shugi, you'd absolutely keep the form on, like without really thinking about it too
Okay.
much. But I mean, this is not Shugi, right? 'Cause- but I'm gonna say if you want to keep all the options open, just discard 3-pin.
3-pin, okay.
Makes sense, right? Because you're confirming you're the on man. You already have another pair to go with your Hatsu pair, and then you keep both of your good floating tiles.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the Formon is a bad discard. It's just it backfired in this case. But yeah, if you just want to keep that opportunity to improve the hand around it, then just discard 3-pin. The only backfire on discarding 3-pin is 3-pin.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could make an argument like if you draw another one. Oh no, you're right. That is only backfire.
Yeah, that because you have 2 other pairs.
Right.
Remember, closed hand, 2 pairs is the best.
Yeah, but if I was planning to call Hatsu, which I didn't, but not yet at least, and, 3 is fine. Okay, so anyways, because upon drawing this Aka 5 Mon, I toss 8-9. Is this like a correct decision? Because I might be Furiten if I draw 6, right? Or 3.
This is kind of complicated, actually. So if you just throw the Aka 5 Mon back out, it makes your 7 Mon weight, like if that does become your final weight, it makes that a lot stronger.
Okay.
And even if you draw 6 Mon to stick to your 5 Mon, you won't be Fuditen until unless it's your final weight.
Right.
So especially with a hand that can call, you could still just chi that the on man before you get to Tenbai. So it's not horrible. It's just that you were going back a Shanten by doing that.
Yeah.
I would probably just throw the 5 Mon back out, the Aka 5 Mon.
Okay.
And part of the reason is this hand's not going to be that expensive, even with 1 additional Dora. It's like the difference between 1,000 and 2,000, right?
Yeah.
So it's not worth going back a Shanten just to add another 1,000 points to this hand.
Okay. That's a good way to put it.
Eat. Don't.
And Super Phoenix deals in with Richura 3. Rip.
Pom. T. Pom.
At this point, I was like, "What are you doing? Why are you throwing the chin?"
It's Tenhou.
T. T.
Oh, actually, sorry, my notes were on this hand, turn 5, when I threw the 5 so. Should I have thrown the 5 so?
Do you want to go back to that point?
So I drew 4 so, right, to complete that, or to make that 4-5-5. I threw 5 because I wanted to make sure I used the Aka, right, like that.
I mean,
I could draw another 5 so to still use it, and I could see that it's probably Honitsu, right? So that's why I noted this down.
I probably give up the Itsu here.
Just give up on Itsu.
I mean, yeah, you could discard one bean and keep the Yangkang and also have the Tanyao potential.
That is a Honitsu or Chinitsu on the Dora suit.
Right. So you would definitely give up the Itsu and just throw one pin here?
Yeah, there are added incentives to keep last placing last on Tenhou.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you notice that they're going for a single suit hand and they're your Shimocha, you don't want to feed them.
Yeah. I would probably have to get rid of it sooner or later, though.
I mean, if your hand becomes, winnable, then sure. But
Pom.
before then, probably not.
Okay.
And like, if by keeping around another 5 so, you might end up sticking more Sozu to your hand and then getting rid of like Manzu or Pinzu instead.
Right.
Anyway, we were on like turn 12 or something.
Yeah.
T. T.
Was that 2 pin just Suji to the Aka 5 pin that was discarded a few turns ago?
That and the fact that like there was 3 pins on the board, so I thought it was relatively safe.
I guess it was no chance from your perspective, right? From the 4 pin.
Yeah. The 4 pin and the 3 pin. Yeah. So at this point I was just folding.
Dong.
Can we go back to the 9-1 cut?
The 9-1? Sure.
How are you seeing your blocks?
I'm seeing them as 3, 4, 5, which could be 1 or 2, and then 7, 8, 9. 9 mana is extra. 5, 5, 1, 3, 7, 9. So 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But if you see 3, 4, and 4, 5
Yeah.
as 2 diamonds,
Yeah.
then you have too many blocks.
Right. I would have 6 blocks. That's right.
Right. And then you can. The thing is, if you get rid of one of your Sozu blocks, you're more open to Chitoi.
You're considering Chitoi from 3 pairs? Yeah, that thought didn't cross my mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with the Chitoi here. You have 2 Mensu and 3 pairs. This is a you're Ishanten. Why are you looking for Chitoy?
Yeah. I just thought, keeping 6 blocks, instead of getting rid of it is just much better than,
Okay.
I don't know, didn't really think about that 9-mon cut.
Here, I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
about
The difference between 1-3 and 7-9?
was this one of your notes?
It was not one of my notes because I cut 3 so, and I can explain, I guess, because I saw women throwing 7-9. And so I thought, one, I thought safe tiles against them just in case they reach. 2, I thought, oh, well, I see 2 7-sos, so 8-so might come out easier, I don't know. Compared to 2-so, which might be kind of something.
I mean,
that was my reasoning.
I mean, it's more that I wouldn't say 8-so might come out more easily. It's more that Toyman doesn't have 8-so, so
Okay.
8-so slightly better than 2-so here. But even if you make that consideration, you should still discard 1-so first.
Why is that? Well, to improve to 3-4.
Yeah, because if you draw 4-so, or even if you draw 5-so, you'll be able to choose between
Right.
your blocks.
Okay. It would be a different story if it was 1-2 versus 8-9, right? Then I would throw 2-so first, because drawing a 4 doesn't really do anything for me.
You could still throw 1 first in case you draw 3 and decide to take the Yanmen that could be.
Okay.
I mean, you could. It's an option. It's if you're okay with keeping that Fuditen Yanmen, then you throw 1 first. If you're not okay with it, then you can throw 2 first.
I see. Yeah, I frequently find myself, whenever it comes to Tenchans, at least, cutting the inside one first, just because the terminals are slightly safer. Is that usually not preferred compared to the efficiency that it would give?
Like for penchants, it would depend on if you can see like Tanyao, for instance. Because if you were looking for Tanyao and you like pair up the 2 or the 8, or you draw the 4 or the 6 to go with it, then that would become a good, or not a good, but it would become a Tanyao block in case you need it. So it mostly depends on that.
Okay. Got it.
Pom.
What do you think about that 1-pin pwn?
The 1-pin call, yeah. So immediately I start thinking about what sort of Yaku he might have in his hand. The only Yakuhai I still see left, right, is Ton or West. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up Japanese and English. I'll just stick to Japanese. Ton and Sha. So that's what I'm thinking. I mean, it doesn't really look like Onitsu to me, so definitely not what I'm thinking about. So it's just Ton and Sha for me.
Yeah, I mean, you can also consider Toy, but it doesn't look like Toy either.
Would you say, like, what would look like Toy if they threw like a Diamond or a Kanchan or something?
That would make it look more like Toy, or if they're throwing more middle tiles and holding on to honor tiles, like them throwing live Haku and Hatsu means that either they already are Toy Tenpai, which is unlikely, or that they're not Toy. Because like if you weren't Tenpai and you were looking for Toy, you'd want all those Yakuhai, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, here I keep the 9-so just in case I draw another Dora for another Dora acceptance. Oh, this is interesting. What do I end up doing here? I forget.
Eat.
Okay, I decided to do that.
Ooh. Super Phoenix was folding already.
All right. Hakudori Nora, of course.
Can we see Super Phoenix's hand from that last Yoku? It was Sha Otozuke, but they folded on the previous turn.
Yeah, what made them fold? I wonder what made them fold. Was it the two Tsumogiris from dealer?
It might have been the dealer discarding a Kanchan.
I mean, that sort of happened. Oh, maybe 3-5 right here, and then they discard Suman, which was kind of interesting. They had a 5-mon.
But one mon, there was already 3 discarded, and one of them was discarded by them. So
that's why they chose 2-mon.
probably.
Interesting.
And it's relatively safer, you know.
Okay, so they kind of did that to balance moving forward and not completely folding.
And then 5-so was fine, so they could throw
Right,
that,
right.
really worrying about it.
And
But
then
yeah, here I guess they couldn't throw both 5-pin and 7. Well, 5-pin was the Dora.
I feel like they could have just thrown 7-pin here.
But then they'd have to throw 5-pin. Most likely.
Or 8-8.
I mean, that's going back to Shantan.
Yeah.
Gonna throw it. Yeah, I don't think you can.
Either way, this was too many blocks for them, right? So I feel like throwing 8 or yeah. So I guess they just folded.
Yeah, Monzu weren't safe. Pinzu couldn't throw 5-pin. 8-so it was Suji, but still not necessarily safe, especially given that the dealer's last Tadashi was the 5-so.
Right.
Eat.
Yeah, I guess they just were like, oh, I can't push anything, so I guess I'll fold. Interesting.
Truly AI. Last time we dealt him with a Sha.
All right, 3 Homba.
So are you going to call the tune if it comes out?
Yes, I probably will.
Okay.
And I do.
Eat.
5-pin discard.
What would you have done?
Can you explain your 5-pin discard first?
Sure. I mean, the Haku, obviously, it's Dora, so if I could pair that up, then that'd be a pretty good thing for my hand in terms of value. 5-mon, I could still, I still need a block, right? So 5-mon was really good. In terms of efficiency, yes, that's true. Like, Haku would be the best. But I just thought that if I paired it up, right, then that would take my hand from 1,000 to like 39.
You're expecting to win 39, even with a 3-so already discarded?
I mean, there's still chances for the 3-so pair to turn into a Liaomen or something like that.
Yeah, and also you have a 2-mon Anko, so it could even be 52 with 2 Dora.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. Like, you probably, like, the digital play is probably just to throw the Haku, and
okay.
because the Kutsuki is so wide, you know.
Right.
It's you're giving up like half of your tile acceptance by keeping the Haku.
Okay.
if it weren't a Kutsuki on 2 5s, then you can keep the Haku. But like the tile acceptance is just so wide.
So
It's like 40 tiles.
it's like for what?
Like 40 tiles.
Okay. Yeah. Like if it were like a 5 and an 8, then you would just throw the 8.
Then you just throw the 8. But yeah, like because you can accept 3, 4, 5, 6 mon, 3, 4, 5, 6 peen, and then of course the 3 so. But I mean, you can accept the 3 so no matter which one you
Right.
discard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just way too wide to give up on. I think.
I think you forgot to say 7.
Oh, did I say okay? Yeah, but anyway, all the tiles around the 5 and 5.
Right.
Eat.
Okay. Good point.
You push Ipatsu.
I push Ipatsudora. I think I do.
Oh,
I think that's fine.
I mean, Tenpai for 2,000 expected value, I guess. Although if it deals in, that would be really bad.
What's this Karagiri 3 peen?
You know, just to show other players that, you know, I might have nothing else in my hand, and I'm just 2 chance, you know.
Don't.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, you were the on-men Tenpai, so like throwing Dora Ipatsu because like the door is not likely to deal in.
Yeah.
It just if it deals in, it's really bad.
Yeah.
But it's not likely, and it was the first row.
Pom. Key. Don't.
Wow.
Yeah. This was another one of my notes, which was like, should I have called just for the possibility of 1,500, or maybe 29 at most, right?
I mean, like, what are the other options to not take Tenpai?
Yeah. Well,
The thing is, I mean, I mentioned this before, but the thing is, even if you just add 1 door to this hand, it's not going to become that much more expensive. So you might as well just take the Tenpai.
right. Or no, I mean, like, you may as well call it from this hand. Is my question, I guess.
Oh, call the Hatsu.
Right.
I
Because
mean,
like otherwise, it's gonna be what I use as my pair, or get rid of it and, you know, build another block, go a little slower, build some sort of Paifu shape.
you call it just because you need a wrench on.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I think digitally you call it because the hand is fast enough. Like as soon as you call it, you're Kutsuki each on 10. So
Yeah, unfortunate though.
Better for Haremon.
All right, looks pretty good for a 1, 2, 3.
so the
Eat.
I'm gonna ask why are you holding the 7 so over all of those other floating tiles? Because for instance the 2 mon could give you Ipeko, or the 3 so could give you Ipeko, or like you could move towards Itsu if you get actually not really, never mind, not Itsu, but you could get Ipeko with some of those other floating tiles. So why is 7 so?
Well, at least with the 3 so's, right? Let me go back to here. 3 so here. I wasn't really thinking about Ipeco, even with the 2-mon actually. But looking back at this now, I see 1-mon discarded, I see 1 so discarded. So the chances of Ipeco are a little slim. And also, I would have to give up potentially 5-6. Like if I, for example, this 3 so, right? If I draw another 1, or if I draw another 2, then that would be slightly lower tile acceptance. But the main reason why I kept the 7 so is that if I drew like 8 so, for example, then I can switch out my 5-6 to accept the Dora.
Okay, I mean that's the answer I was looking for.
Okay.
But like you shouldn't completely discount
Ipeco?
Ipeco chance, because if you do add Ipeco to this hand, like discarding 5-6 mon, it could be like Junchan Sanchoku Ipeco and then be ridiculous.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about Junchan.
Well,
Okay.
I like Chonta, so I look for it.
Okay.
But yeah, so the main thing is like looking for value, and even with the 7, so you pick up 8, so you could get the Dora that could be Junchan Sanchoku Dora. So,
Right.
like,
Yeah, I was mainly thinking about the Dora. I didn't notice that it would actually become Junchan.
But yeah, like holding the 7 so is totally fine. I just wanted to see.
Yeah. It was 100% the Dora was the first thing on my mind. Didn't even think about Ipeco or Junchan for that matter.
Yeah.
Eat.
Are you gonna die to Super Phoenix right now?
Sumo.
I think that's what happened. Oh, no, I still have 800 points. Wait, hold on, let me look at that again. Yeah, I still have 800 points.
Can't reach anymore.
Can't reach anymore.
You're lucky they finished an Anko instead of a Shunsu.
They finished an Anko instead of a Shinsu? Oh, you mean like when they reached?
Like for Paifu or something? Yeah, then you might have had even less points.
Well, 800 points left. What do I do?
So when you're in a situation like this, what do you do?
I have to. Well, first of all, I can't reach, right? So I have to make some sort of Yaku without Richi.
Mhm.
Given the fact that there's still a whole South round in the game and third place like 1,000 above me, I kind of want to say like just give me anything, but I do want a little more than just a simple 1,000 hand, because even if I do win 1,000, like I'm still dangerously close to dying. So I want to sort of balance like going for value and going for speed. Although I can't, I really have to just take whatever I can get, is my thought. But here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I'm starting to think of Chitoy, because then I can accept the Dora as well.
But yeah, I think your assessment is pretty good. Like, yeah, you would want more points because you're far behind, but since you can't reach it, you have to build Yaku, and you can't always build expensive Yaku into your hand. So, yeah, I mean that's good. And then looking for Chitoy too with this hand is also good because you have 4 pairs, no sequences completed.
Right. So I think past me should have thrown 3 pin here. Although, yeah, okay.
You're doubting yourself.
I am doubting myself. But here I throw the Hatsu because the chance for a regular hand is possible too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, I just want to take anything I can get. So this was one of my other notes. This was my last note, actually. Should I have done this? Because this is guaranteeing that it's going to be a cheap hand. And I might have to throw Dora later as well. So this was one of my last, or this was my last note. I don't know if I should have done this. Looking at this, now, probably shouldn't have done this, but wanted to hear your thoughts.
I mean, I think it's fine because Super Phoenix discarded the Dora here.
Okay.
So it looks like their hand is pretty fast, I guess. I mean, they broke up a Kanchan and then they're throwing the Dora. So you probably wouldn't be able to catch up with Chitoitsu. And then if Super Phoenix gets a Tumo on pretty much anything, you'll die.
Right.
So calling just for 1,000 and trying to live until the next hand, I am not opposed.
Chi.
Does Bryant have an opinion?
Yeah, I try to live first.
Okay.
Yeah, because even if you only win 1,000 points, you can at least reach the next hand.
Pom.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, there's 3 8-pins out, and there's already a 7-pin discarded. So the fact, the chance of making this, 6 6 7 7 into 2 blocks is basically not happening. So I chose to do this. So I could do 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, so I could accept 5 so for another block like that. And I threw 7-pin instead of 6-pin just because there was 1 discarded. Is that not what you would have done?
No, I think it's good. But like the main thing is it's your Shimocha's Genbutsu, right? So Super Phoenix called once, and if you deal in, you're dead.
Right.
So you also have to balance not dealing in.
Oh.
So I think 7-pin is is the best discard here.
Okay.
Because like you could discard like 8 so or something, right? Or you could just throw back out the 4 so. Like there's a lot of different options in a flat situation, but considering that this is not a flat situation, 7-pin I think is like the best balance between everything you had to consider.
You also can't be no 10, basically.
That's correct. I also cannot be no 10, which is why I push. I have to.
Yeah, your temp by third row, you kind of have to push everything.
Pom.
I'm surprised Super Phoenix was not
Tenpai
anywhere
there?
near Tenpai. They Tadashi'd so many times.
Yeah, but they got into Tenpai with that 2-pin cut. With that 2-pin.
I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about 7-mon versus 4-mon?
Right here.
Yeah. Because your Kamisha's last discard is 9-mon. It's 8-mon.
So it could have come out from something like 889 or something like that, or
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, like, what's their what's their Yaku though?
It's probably just K10, right?
Exactly.
The only time you have to worry about that is if it's Itsu.
If it was, if it were Itsu though, they would have probably confirmed the penchant a lot earlier, right?
Yeah.
Could just be E2 potential. But yeah, it's mostly likely just K10.
Yeah, like I didn't think they had a Yaku.
Yeah, and the fact that all the 2 mon are visible doesn't really make 4 mon any more dangerous than 7. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the 4-mon would be safer in that case.
Yes.
I mean, there's also like, what, 9 months visible? Yeah. Well, 4 mon is safer.
Maybe 6-8 though. But unlikely that they will roll on it.
Oh,
Yeah, because like if the how do I put this? Like if the lowest or like I don't really know how to describe this. Like I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to put it into words. But like in this case, right? If if the 1-mon is safe and the 7-mon's not safe, then and the 4-7-mon is not safe, then the 4-mon is safer than the 7-mon because it has a lower chance of dealing into a bad shape than the 7-mon.
yeah.
Does that
Because
make
the
sense?
because all the 2 and 3 are
No, because 8. Wait.
because 8 mon was discarded that late.
I'm just talking like general here.
Okay.
Because like normally you'd throw like if you have no information and you have to choose between 4-mon and 7-mon to discard, then you discard 7-mon because it's only deals into 1 Nyanmen, right?
Right.
But in the case where 4-mon or 7-mon only deal into 1 Nyanmen, the same Nyanmen, the 4-7-mon, then the 4-mon is safer because it has a lower chance of dealing into bad shapes because the 4-mon cannot deal into a penchant.
Right. The only way the 4 mon can be used is what, 3-5, 5-6, or 2-3. Whereas
Well,
7 mon.
I mean, like any middle tile can deal into a Kanchan.
Right.
But only 3 and 7 can deal into a penchant.
Right. So it's because 7 mon has the additional possibility of dealing into a penchant. That makes it more dangerous into dealing into bad shapes than 4 mon.
In general, yes. Like considering the fact that like if the 1-mon is safe, then the
Right.
4 and 7 both deal into a Dianmen if they have the 4-7-mon Dianmen.
Right.
So then you only would really consider the bad shapes if you have to if you have to choose between one of them.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a not like specific to this Kyoku thing. It was like a general thing.
Okay. So here I'm looking at Tenhou. I don't really see any other way. Or Haku, I guess. But then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, or Haku, I guess.
I mean, you could also see like Sananko or Ipeko or something.
But you wouldn't. Or now that one Haku's out, you wouldn't pass it.
Not with 2 calls like this, no. In general, you probably just take it. Oh, here we go.
Can't reach. Sanako, please. All right. So here, I'm like, well, guess I'm dead. Guess I'll die.
I mean, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
This hand is Could you maybe discard 4 or so here? Is that an option?
It is an option. It is an option. Or so. Would it make any difference? 2-5 versus 3-3. I figured, Well, I mean, this it doesn't really. No one's concerned about me, so they're not going to look at my discards, right?
Of value.
But the value.
I mean, I'd probably discard Tuso here and, just keep the hand the same. More because it's safer. Because Forso might
yeah.
deal it.
Yeah, you're right. But Tuso is one chance.
Yeah, and there's also one discarded. So if it's a Champon, then it's less likely that it's a Champon.
Right.
But discarding Forso would give you a better weight. So.
But also that would guarantee 1,300 hand, right?
I mean, you could get Ipeko, you could Sumo, you could get.
I could get Ipeko, I could Sumo, yeah.
Because I mean, this hand, the way it is, you might only win 1,600.
It's true. Also, Aka acceptance? Question mark. Yeah. And then I die.
What was their hand? We didn't.
I accidentally spelled pass.
Yep, you died. Cool.
Yeah.
G.
So that's the game with Suphx or with Super Phoenix.
And you let Super Phoenix take third.
Hey, I don't think I did anything super blatantly wrong in this entire Hanchan, unless you have a time where I did, where you want to show me.
No, not super blatantly wrong. No.
Is there anything that was okay, like highlights of that I could improve on?
I mean, we covered like everything when it happened, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Did you have anything, Bryant?
No. This is expected.
Expected.
You're just a little unlucky. This is what happens. Like with that.
The Damahan and Mondilin.
Oh.
And you lose your oil turn. Like it's just like it just happens in some of your games. Really hard to dodge this one.
Yeah, I had no idea that they were Tenpai. Like, you can't know.
Sad.
This is why we play Akanashi. It's a superior game mode.
Alright, if you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more of this in the future. I'll probably be doing some more content, here on the OC Mahjong YouTube channel. So yeah, see you later.